Hello everyone, this is my video to record the tech cards. So in this video I just want to explain what each tech card does and how it works. So we're going to start with weapons cards. So the first one we're going to start with is the T-34. So it's unlocked. Oh, quick little tip about tech. So this is a nice tech chart that shows all the technology in the game and at what tech level each technology is at. So if you're worried about your opponent about to deploy a certain technology, just look at his tech and refer it to this level, to this chart to see what he can potentially deploy. And based on your government type, you might have all government types except for technocracy have an associated tech requirement lower. So fascists require one less tech level to deploy weapons cards. Democracy requires one less tech level to deploy economic cards, and communists require one less tech level to deploy spy cards. So on with it, I'm just gonna explain each individual tech card. So the simplest one is the T-34. So it's just +1 to army combat. It's at a relatively expensive 12. So this just helps you in your land fights a bit more. A +1, so I'll explain. There's some other ones. So fascists also have the Centurion tank that's unlocked at Tech 12. It costs $14 and gives +2 instead of +1. So it doesn't stack, it just gives you +2. And then they can flip it over at Tech 18 for Abrams tanks, and it gives +3 army combat. So quite a strong bonus. And the other land combat you can get is jet engines, which stacks with it at Tech level 13, which gives you +1 combat within 2 hexes of an established sector. So how that would work is, let's say blue has Panera, and they want to attack Fervidus, and they landed an army there while they had jet engines, they'd get the +1 jet engine bonus to that. Nice thing with jet engines also do a few other things. They increase your intercept range, and they allow your hydrogen bombs to have they extend they allow your hydrogen bombs to have a range up to 3. And also you can move 2 armies onto any hex in the board for 1 oil each. So good thing about that, let's say you're blue and you have a resource card in Opa Panera, I think that's what it's called. Instead of having to take a boat all the way there and landing a bunch of armies, you can just put 2 armies there one turn and get that resource card. So those are the land combat bonuses you can potentially... Oh, and then there's bazookas. So how bazookas work is they give +1 to defense bonuses, and then eventually you can flip them over to +2 to defensive bonuses. Now, this doesn't stack with other weapons cards, so it's not like you can take bazookas and T-34s and be super defense. It's just you get the bonus on defense. So it's inferior to T-34s, except that it's cheaper, and it flips to a +2 bonus. Now, defense only doesn't apply to elongated combat. So let's say let's say purple had bazookas here, and the combat lasted a turn, and then purple wanted to fight back next turn. He wouldn't get his +1 bonus anymore. So that's all the land combat bonuses. I kind of wanted to talk about the odds of winning land combat. So if you have even if you have a +0 bonus against your opponent, you have a 41% chance of killing any army with any other army. If you have a +1, it's a 58% chance. If it's a +2, you have a 72% chance, and you have a +3 bonus over your opponent, you have an 83% chance of killing your opponent's army. Now, there's always a 1/6 chance of a tie for any given plus bonus. So you might always tie with that army. So we're going to move on to naval cards. So the first one is radar. It gives +1 to naval combat rolls. It also increases your naval intercept range by 1. So with radar, I could intercept purple. If I'm blue, I can intercept purple if they come within 2 hexes of me, if I only have radar. Nimbus is a pretty standard upgrade to that. It just gives me +2 instead of +1. And it increases the intercept range to 3. So with that, I could shoot them from here. It also allows hydrogen bombs to be launched from a ship. So once I get nukes, I can launch my nukes from a ship, provided that the ship's within range of my target. So They're both at fairly high tech levels and fairly expensive based on the amount of water on the map, so fairly good at keeping your opponents away from you and also dominating the oceans. The next naval combat bonus is still jet engines, so it gives you +1 to naval combat as well, as long as you're within 2 hexes of the established sector. So this would get the +1 bonus to it. The next weapon cards are Manhattan Project and Saturn Rockets. So how Manhattan Project works is it costs 32. It's at a pretty low tech level for 9, and it only allows you to build nukes. Now nukes, we'll cover that in a separate video, but they don't have very good range at the start. And each nuke costs $8 and 2 metal, so pretty expensive. So you're talking $40 and 2 metal before you can even nuke something. Saturn Rockets is our highest tech, at tech level 21, at a whopping $25. And it allows you to nuke any target on the map if you have nukes. So very powerful and can really threaten everyone on the map. And you can also counter nuke people if they invade or nuke you. So you get into a weapon standoff. So those are all the weapons cards for the game. We're going to move on to economic cards.